Hello, my name is Joey Titus, and for my current issue presentation, I chose to cover it over climate change. We're first going to cover the question of what is climate change, its causes, the consequences, and the solutions being undertaken right now. So let's get into it. So you may be asking yourself the question, well, what is climate change exactly? So climate change, aka global warming, is a change in global or regional climate patterns. And Earth's average temperature has increased about 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit in the past century. And to put that little small increase in context, the average surface temperature of the Earth during the Ice Age was only 4 degrees Fahrenheit lower than what it is today. So I know that increase in temperature doesn't seem like a whole lot, but even small increases in temperature can cause severe effects in weather patterns around the globe, and is expected to rise as much as 11.4 degrees Fahrenheit over the next century, and by then the Earth will be a completely different place, I promise you that. And we as a race should worry because we are only now kind of starting to take matters into our own hands. But if the surface temperature continues to rise like this, we'll experience mass extinctions, including ourselves, extreme weather events, and the destruction of ecosystems and animals all over the world. So now we're going to take a look at some of the leading causes to climate change. So the leading contributor to climate change is the greenhouse effect, and that is when the Earth reflects heat back towards space. But in that process, it is also breaking down our ozone layer, which protects us from the sun's solar rays, and those solar rays are what's causing the Earth's temperature to rise. Now, the sun's solar rays aren't the only thing that are causing the Earth's temperature to rise. It is these listed gases that contribute to the greenhouse effect. While all of them can be produced through natural occurrences in nature, they are mostly being produced through human activity, through industrialization, agriculture, and deforestation. And some of the human causes are the human industry and human activity and the combustion of fossil fuels through cars, extracting oil and coal, and it's also through deforestation in order to urbanize ourselves, and biomass burning, which is also for urbanization. Now we're going to take a look at some of the consequences of global warming. Now I know this is a very big list to take in, but like I said before, extreme weather patterns will occur, the destruction of ecosystems, the risk to electricity supply, and the disruption to food supplies. And it will also include the mass extinction of animals all over the world, including us humans. So if we don't do anything about this now, it is not going to be pretty for us. But fortunately, there are a numerous number of solutions being undertaken that we're going to talk about right now. So there are countless environmentalists around the world who are actively trying to prolong the life of our planet. One of the more famous environmentalists is Leonardo DiCaprio, who actually has his own foundation called the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation. But he seems to be doing everything in his power to help wildlife and restore balance to threatened ecosystems, as well as communities around the world. But even before Leo was trying to save the world, when Richard Nixon enacted the first Earth Day, millions of supporters have gotten together around the world, and they are doing everything in their power to help save the planet. And thank goodness that it's still a holiday being celebrated all over the world. And the EPA has also done a whole lot for our environment too. They're responsible for creating standards and laws that promote the health of individuals and the environment as well. So I know saving the world is a pretty big problem to tackle. But as long as we do these thingies, we can help. It'll be a big impact on the world as we know it. One thing we can do is switch to renewable energy, whether it be solar, wind, or hydroelectricity. We just want to steer away from the combustion of fossil fuels and releasing more of those harmful gases into the air. And another thing we want to do is use our energy wisely, and it'll save us. It'll save you money too. Now this one here is quite a stretch. Growing our own food and eating less meat. The reason why we want to eat less meat is because we don't want to promote the meat industry, because those animals are releasing methane gas into the air. And again, like I said, we want to relieve the use of fossil fuels. Now I know this fourth one, this second to last one here, recycling, that's one we hear a lot, and people think that that bottle you recycle is going to end up in a landfill. No, that is definitely not true. All plastic products go to plants, they are shredded, and they are cleared of impurities and turned into these little pellets, which can be turned into new plastic products. And one last thing we can do is spread the word. The more people that hop on this, the more likely we're going to save the world. Now, I want to show y'all this quote from Leonardo DiCaprio himself, and I'm going to read it back to you. Clean air, water, and livable climates are inalienable human rights, and solving this crisis is not a question of politics. It is a question of our own survival. Now, I think this is pretty powerful because in Leo's what he's doing for the environment, he's not doing it in order to become more popular or even get more money. He's actually not getting more money. He's funding all of it. He knows that this is a dire situation, and if we don't do anything about this right now, it could result in the extinction of human beings as we know it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope it was informative. I hope it scared you into recycling more. And I hope that we're able to live on this planet for the remainder of our lives, because it is very possible that we might not be able to. So in order to prolong the life of Earth, we should try to recycle and live in a cleaner, healthier way. Thank you.